other illegal activity going on in front of them, and being in the country illegally is a crime. The best way you can save us from having that negative interaction is using CBP Home app. Self-report. Saves us all a lot of time and a lot of money.
CBD Home app. Okay. Got it. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, it's morning. Good morning. Oh my God, I thought it was late in the afternoon because that snow out there. The snow, the snow, the snow. Okay. Good morning, everyone. To God be all the glory on this happy Sunday. On this happy Sunday in December. I just wanted to just come with you real quickly today because I came across something. I've been on this immigration stuff real hard. I've been working real hard. Now, if I'm going hard on this immigration stuff, and it grabbed a lot of my interest, because I don't stay on. I don't just stay on one place with getting all my information, my research or whatever. I try to go listen to other places, other people, how they feel, what they're talking about around this immigration, um, mass in, mass deportation, whatever immigration stuff. Um, it's important that as an American, which I am, to make sure I keep all my other American family members, friends, whoever, and even my subscribers informed on what's going on in our world and our politics and also with our government. Now, especially in the nation that you live in now, you want to protect your home. You want to know what's going on around the places you live before you leave your house. And I always tell people you have to pray. Prayer is key. Prayer, prayer, prayer. This just shows you how dangerous times are, and don't take your life for granted. Don't walk out here without having the covering, spiritual covering over you of God. When I say spiritual covering, I'm saying don't leave your house without having God covering you. Now, a lot of people sit up there and talk about, oh, I'm just an atheist. I don't believe. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I'm not going to say that's fine. That's a sad way to live. When you don't have spiritual discernment, those gifts, and you live in a world like we living in today, it's dangerous. Um, let's go into our Father's prayer before I get started. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who have trespassed against us. Lord, lead us not into temptation. Deliver us from evil. For thou you are the kingdom, the power, and all the glory, forever and ever. Amen. I feel so much better now that I prayed and looking at my Christmas tree. I need to put a little bit more lights on there. But anyway, like I was saying, that it's a dangerous thing that you don't have a foundation in you of Jesus Christ. And you've been living in America all your life. With all the people that come into America, with all these strange cultures and religions and whatever else they might bring along with them, and you don't have a covering, and you living in the world like a bastard in the world. Okay, of course, me being a Christian, I will come to people like you, and I will try to tell you to come along and follow me, or I mean, follow Christ. Not follow me, but follow Christ. I will introduce you to him. And it's really up to you as an individual if you want to accept the invitation. It's really up to you if you want to accept the fellowship, the friendship. Now, one thing about Christ and that I love about being a Christian is that it's not to force anyone to come. It's really up to the individual if they want to at least get to know him. Now I know a lot of people like, oh well, when you got fear in you and you don't want to come freely and you hesitant, then I gotta leave you alone. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not willing, and I can't take. Well, Christ's not gonna take you when you're not willing. You have to be willing to open up to Him. If He's knocking at your door, open up and let Him in. He's not gonna harm you. He wants to protect you. He wants to keep you safe. Now, you want to go and follow some Sharia law that's coming from a mouth of a Muslim, then you made your choice of what God you want to follow. Because I already tell people that there's only one God. And when people came from all different places of the world to the United States, they were looking to find a place of rescue from persecution as Christians because of their religion. They didn't necessarily have to be a Christian, but they trying to get to know Jesus. If they attended any kind of like Christian, religious events, maybe in their state, in their country, or they had a Bible study or Christian something going on in their home and they were studying the Bible, and somebody went and said, oh, these people were reading the Bible, and then the next thing they go tell authorities, and it's against the laws there and the rules there, and it depends on who your leader is. It depends on who your leader is. That's the way I look at it, of your nation. If he's a wicked king or a wicked president or a wicked prime minister or whatever names you call your leaders in your country, um, guess what? He's not going to be a very nice person to the people that live there. He's not going, if he's a person that is wicked as far as like abuse power, and he's the type of person, or she is the type of person, do as I say, or I'm going to put you in the burning fire, in the fire and furnace, forcing you to do something when you really don't feel comfortable doing it. That's abuse. And if it goes against your will, and if it goes against that's abuse. That is, and I'm going to say it's abuse to a certain extent, and I'm going to explain to you why. Um, God actually do appoint our leaders. Whether we think we do or not, God does. And God gives us somebody to lead. And when the people are rejoicing and the people are happy and the people are doing all kind of wonderful things, that means that God appointed somebody for the good of the people. Right? Now, you got to think about this in this way. These people come from a foreign country, driven off their land. Some of them came because they want to start a new life in America. But when they get here, they assimilate. You know what I'm saying? They take the oath, they swear themselves to be an American or whatever they come to America to do. Whether they came to naturalize, maybe they came here as temporary status, or maybe they came here on a visa, a permanent visa. Whatever status, that permanent visas usually makes them have dual status. They can be a resident here in the United States of America, and they can also have residency in their own country. And they could travel back and forth as much as they could live here, and then they could come back and live in America. That's dual status, okay? So the United States Congress of the government of the United States changed that in the immigration laws because people been abusing it. Because money been leaving out of the United States. We don't know where the money going. The money might be going to a terrorist group. Or you might be organized with a terrorist group, but they can't track them down. You understand what I'm saying? You really can't track them down when people got dual status. So what they got to do is they got to tighten it up a little bit. So those people that come here under permanent residency or temporary or whatever residency, whatever they file for on their visa, um, America is not going to be so easy to get in or to get back in due to the high security risk and due to a lot of stuff of terrorism going on right now. And this is not only just happening in America, just so people will get it. America is one of the most powerful and strongest nations right now that's standing, supposed to be anyway. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they can't still sneak into America. But the thing is that we got to keep people aware and we got to keep people educated about the immigration laws that are being revised and being put in place because of the stuff that got out of control. In some kind of way, we're going to try to work with it and control it. We can only try, but it also takes you as an American to do your part as a citizen of this country and want to be safe. You can't wait on ICE to come over here to save you. You can't even wait for the police department because they don't even want to work with ICE. They don't even want to arrest the criminals. They let them right back out in the street. They put them right back in the street and they let them out of the jails because we got corrupt judges. But I'm not going to worry about that because when they do decide they want to rape somebody, kill somebody, or whatever they're going to do to somebody, let them think about going to their house. Since the fact that they don't want to protect other people's lives, knowing these people are dangerous, knowing these people are capable of harming people and hurting people and doing things to children and women and whatever, they don't want to, detain them. They don't want to keep them in prison. They don't want to keep them to be able to be dealt with by the law for their crimes or whatever. You want to let them back out, then let it go to your house, okay? Let the criminals and all the people that do all of these crazy things that harm other people's lives and make other people's lives feel terrorized, maybe they need to go live with you. Move next door to you, maybe. You wouldn't feel the same way, okay? For letting them out of jail because you don't want to follow President Trump because you want to try to ruin his career. You want to ruin his presidency, and you want to do everything you can want to do to destroy the president of the United States, not knowing why in the due process and the time you trying to destroy him, you're destroying yourself as well. Because if they get him, they got to fuck you too. Where you gonna go? Where you going to go? If they come for President Trump, they coming for you too. So what good is that going to do for you trying to destroy President Trump's chances of being, remaining president in his role, in his presidency? Because you don't like him. You're not used to nobody being honest with you. You're not used to nobody telling you anything, how to follow, anybody that tell you to follow rules, follow the guidelines. Y'all just want to go out there and just do what the hell you want to do. And then Trump already said it, so he shouldn't have to worry about you. Because if one of them get their hands on you and they do something to you, all he got to do is just say, oh, well, I try to warn them. They didn't like me. They didn't like what I said. So they wanted to do it their own way. They went their own way. Just like that fool that sat up there with the Somalians, that mayor that's in the state of Minnesota. He going to sit up there, the mayor, with his Somalian community to defend these people and to protect these people or whatever he called himself doing as the mayor of the city, telling the people, if ICE come at you, we gave you a number. Tell the people to call 911. Hello? 911? This is how stupid he is. You call 911, it's not going to help them. 911, the police, if you're not going to get involved, you're not going to get involved. So why are you calling 911? If you're telling the police they're not getting involved and they're not going to interact with This is how stupid they play on the minds of the stupid. Okay, the most stupid of the stupid. Okay, the Somalians. You know, he said, he told them, call 911. Actually, he telling you to turn your motherfucking self in. He's speaking word salad. Okay? He's not, he's giving you something, but he's giving you something that's against you. Okay? Something to make you want to just turn your motherfucking self in. Because calling 911, don't you know that the ICE agents got more power than the fucking police? When the police, you call the police, what the police gonna do? This is America. Welcome to America. What the freak the police going to do? They could try to, well, ICE can't do that. ICE, these people are trained to get criminals and illegals to enforce the law, okay? Not to break it. And they're not going to reason with you. So what the freak is your mayor telling you in Somalia? What a dummy. Call 911. Then he sits down. He has a plate of food with the people. I wouldn't sit there and eat them people food for nothing. I don't know what they put in their food to try to poison me or what kind of voodoo they put on my food. Get out of here. You don't eat from people that your country don't want them there. Some stupid people in the world. No spiritual covering, no spiritual discernment, just stupid. Just stupid. You breaking the laws. The laws are put in place not only just to protect the citizens here, but also to protect you. You come into a country illegally, you have no rights. Somebody can do something to you, and those have to deal with the punishment of the law. You're invading. You are an invader. So what part you don't get? Not only is the ICE agents trying to send you back to where you came from so you could come back legally, or not only the ICE agents or the whatever situation is going on that the ICE agents got to go through, there are some people from other countries that might be around the group ready to harm one of the innocent people that's among the group over some organized crime. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes when the ICE agents are coming just to find children that might be trafficking, human trafficking, some women that have been snatched out of their village or wherever they've been snatched from and brought to the United States of America, and they could use them as sex slaves or use them for sex trafficking. People from a country that's so devastated and so destitute, so ruined, are not people you want to sit around and think are good people or they have any good nature about themselves. Because look at where they came from. It's their home life. Like my mother would tell me. When once she got to know the lifestyle of the way that people, like her neighbors that had kids, and once my mother was able to screen a person, even look in their home, the way they carry themselves to in the public or whatever, I don't want my kids hanging around that. I don't want my kids with those kids because I don't want those bad cat. Unless the kid was a nice kid. Now, sometimes people could be fucked up parents, but the kids could turn out pretty cool. But still, you don't want to take no chances. You know what I'm saying? Still, you don't want to take no chances. People do that because they have to protect you. Laws are put in place to protect you, to cover you, to be a parent to you. You know? Just like the Bible was given to everyone who wants to be saved, and for those of us who want to live in this world more abundantly, those of us who want maybe some longevity, we are going to want to follow the Bible. We want to follow order. We want to follow structure. We want to follow what God has for us and make our lives great for us. Even, a lot of things, of course, God understands that we human and we weak and we fall. But if you do know something, you got to resist it. You got to learn how to resist certain things. And don't let, and don't, and you know how to discipline yourself. Don't put everything in you. Because some things you put in you, you could get really sick from it. You could really get sick from it. You could catch something from it. You could have an allergy to it. This is what I'm saying about once your parents nurtured you and given you a Christian foundation, don't go out there trying to find no other God. He says, serve the God of the Bible. No other God. Y'all running around here trying to find God with Allah. Allah ain't no God. That's a man's written theology. You know what I'm saying? A man's law that was written from some sick, twisted mind. And somehow or the other, some sick people that he was able to recruit to take fellowship with him, to people that he can recruit to actually follow him in this thing was rejected so many times. When people go to theology schools, they study all different types of people from different places of the world and regions of the world and where they were enjoying those biblical times. And this study about Muhammad ain't something that just happened in a vacuum. It ain't something that just happened today. It didn't happen like that. This stuff was researched many, many years ago, before it was even considered a religion. And some people want to find it as a religious and some people don't, because it gave birth to so many to terrorists. It didn't give it, the fruit that it bared was not good fruit. To our society. You see, you gotta practice something that you know is going to bear life. Not death, but life. Reproduce life. Nurtured and loved. And nothing about that religion teaches anything about love. It teaches pure hate. When you harm children and women, the womb, the innocent, that's not love. That is not of God. God said, be fruitful and multiply. Fruitfulness means life. Nothing about Sharia law brings life. And the only reason what woke up Sharia law to come back at America and back over to Europe and over to those European countries or whatever, because people got caught up in too much of the world and they turned away from God, and Satan creeped his way on in. Caught you when you wasn't paying attention. God, when he created us as man and woman, he said, you can have life abundantly. I give you to eat from this fruit of life and not the fruit of knowledge. But because of Eve's curiosity and Eve's, talk with the devil, with her conscience, whatever, someone telling her, yeah, it's okay, you eat it and you go and get your husband to eat it too, and da-da-da-da, y'all be okay. We don't really know what really happened about that part. But God gives us an imagination, and God also, He's not going to give you but so much. He wants you to take a deep dive in it. What do you mean? Okay. But because we be so young and so naive and so new to the world, sometimes we're going to test some things just to see if it's okay for us. We're gonna try to step out of our boundaries with it. We're gonna try to think nobody ain't see it. And we're gonna try to sneak and do it anyways, just to see what it's like. That's not good. They say curiosity kills the cat. Be very careful. I don't have small children. But because of my profession of working with children, young children, I took on this role like I got to be a motherly like type of person. I have to play this role where I have to discipline you and give you structure and give you some kind of guidance. Because that comes from my career, and it just got some part of me that God put in me, that I'm just that nurturing, that loving, that kind and caring. And that's why I come out here and I bring all this information, because I know somebody may not have been paying attention. Somebody is still suffering with TDS, Trump deranged syndrome, and it's hurting them to the point where they can't see truth. That they so hard with their heart, and they so angry with Trump that they can't see the truth. It's not hurting Trump, because Trump doing what he's supposed to do. Regardless to what anybody is saying about Trump, Trump been on the job. He gets tired, of course. This elderly man, he's an elderly man. The man been almost out for retirement. But he just had to come back because of the simple fact that something was pulling at his heartstring about America. We didn't have anybody to lead us. They were all doing just what the hell they want to do. Nobody was paying attention to the borders. Immigrants was coming in. Nobody was really keeping no kind of whatever what was happening at the time. Joe Biden took sick, of course, in his last term. And we can't blame Joe Biden for everything, because we didn't find out about his illness anyway until the end. We don't know how long he's been like that. So we really can't blame him. We don't know if his mind he's been dealing with some dementia, or he's been dealing with, his cognitive dissonance for a long time. We don't know. Nobody informed us from that other side. That's why I'm so angry with them. After I found out that Joe Biden was in the condition that he was in, he's the president of the United States. He's my president. And he's supposed to keep the people informed every day, or every whatever, something, emergencies or whatever's going on in our country right now. That's his job. And especially when it comes to immigration. That's one of the president's most biggest focus on the job, is on who comes through that border. That's the most important job of the president of the United States of America, and how many people, who's coming, what group of people came, blah, 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 blah. Are they on our terrorist list? Are they a country that is in good, alliance with us? Are they good with us or whatever? That's the job. That was Obama's job. And then to try to find things to help the people. They listen to the voice of the people. And whoever voted for them for whatever their policies was, these are the policies that they have to actually live up to the people. Because they made a promise to the people for their vote to put them in charge. We are the people. We want the immigrants out. President Trump probably don't got no problem with a whole lot of you, but we got a problem with you, because you're making life very difficult for us here. You're making life for us, make us feel like a foreigner in our own doggone country. You don't want to speak our language. You don't want to be rude. You don't want to come here and you want to get into our government, but then you want to sit up there and be disrespectful to the United States president. It's just a whole lot of things y'all just been doing and doing and doing. Joe Biden been sick. So y'all got away with a whole lot of shit for the last 3 years. Now Trump is back. Because y'all thought y'all was going to get him out of the way so y'all could have a ball with Joe Biden. Do what the fuck y'all want to do. Run around with him, your freaky gay parades and throw your little gay flags all over the place and offending people. And then on top of that, y'all want to come in here and y'all want to just do what y'all want to do. Even build a whole freaking city. Rebuild our cities. Take names of people that died and heroes of our nation and place names of people from your country on there. When can we go to your country and do that? Not ever. We're not trying to go to your country, but you want to come in our country and be disrespectful and try to run us off our own freaking land. Now you don't stepped out of your boundaries. Now you don't made not only the American people upset, but you got God angry because that's against his commandment. You have violated a place where he built for his people. People that honor him in his name. And you come in here and you're going to bring this foreign God of yours who is not a God to our God, Almighty, the Most High, Alpha and the Omega, Jehovah Jireh, my provider, Elohim. You want to bring that God of Yahweh. He didn't never say a God of Allah, a God of Muhammad. Yes, he has many names, and any names that call on those names is his name. Not Muhammad, not Ali, none of that. And ain't nobody gonna try to push that on me that y'all are considered to be a religion. You're not a religion. But if you are, you don't serve the same God that I serve. And you don't serve the God of this nation. So you are in the wrong side of town. And you have offended our God by doing the things that you decide to do when you stepped on the American soil, because this land was made for his people, not yours. Okay? Now, we could fight in America, but we could fight with our words, and the words that come from the word of God, because the word of God is our source. It's everything. It gives us life. It nurtures us when we need it. It comforts us when we need it. It feeds us when we're hungry for the living word. It quenches our thirst. Now, you want to fight with us because you want to take over America. Oh, we'll fight you. See, you got to hide to fight us. But we could fight you face to face with no weapons of deadly force. But we could kill that demon that lives inside of you with the word of God. For you to think that it's okay for you to come to the United States of America and think you're going to put your name on our streets and take down the names of our heroes. If you're going to think you're going to take over our malls and our city malls that were built by the American people, and you're going to take over our properties and housing and everything else like that. And I pray to God the people in Texas are on here listening, because they already let you know it ain't going to happen. Okay? See, God got his army of people in America with certain assignments. Just in case anybody come in and try to invade us and try to get smart with us and think they just going to take over. There's just going to be some American blood here. Those who were born and breeded in that culture of the KKK. I guess you never heard. You think they just come for black people. You better think again. You better think again. Okay? They got their people. Still in America. They even have towns in America called the Sundown Town. Okay? You caught out here, you ain't white, one of us? Oh, okay. This is what we do. They already showed you that. How many black men been hung out there in those mountains of Georgia and other places in the south? So you got to know that. So you think you know America. You don't know America, and you don't know God's army, and you don't know his people, and you don't know how he's going to set it up. See, those I don't really want violence. I don't really like to see people getting hung and burnt and their homes and all this other stuff. But y'all go over, y'all done cross the line, okay? So whatever happens to you here in America will be justified. So go ahead and keep thinking you gonna come up in here. We ain't soft. We ain't like Britain. We ain't like Europe. We ain't like UK. That's why we got the fuck away from them. Okay? Learn American history why America got away from the UK, got away from Britain, from the king and queen of England. Why we got away under that kind of leadership. You see why we got away, because look at what's going on now. Letting them damn people come up in your country and destroy the culture. But that ain't going to happen in America because we've been sitting here watching. We've been watching and waiting and waiting. The only way y'all could touch us is we step off this land. You'll be able to get one of us if we go to your country and we ain't covered, okay? Or we go somewhere where we ain't covered, where the fuck y'all at. But as long as these ones that's right now here in the United States, this is how stupid they are. You stepped on our land. Now you can't leave when we come for you. Because now you became a prisoner of our war. You ain't going to live very well here. And you ain't going to have peace. And that's all I got to tell you. And I said, now to this one, she's been deported from the USA, but she on here lying, talking shit. She talking shit to, she talking shit in her language, oh, her African language or whatever. Yeah, you out of here. Good. Boom. If they deported you, bitch, then that means that you was here illegally. Because if you was here the right way, you didn't when they had got motherfucking deported. They don't know when to go the fuck home. They don't know when to go home. Okay? They just don't. People get tired of you. People want you out their house. Get the fuck out. Just like he told Ilhan Hoham. Don't get us up in your shit, Ilhan. We ain't got nothing to do with that. Nothing. Okay? Black people ain't fighting for you. All of a sudden now you black. We don't want no more troublemakers. We had enough. And the ones who are out there with you, then hey, they could go right ahead and ride with you. But they're going to regret that shit. Nobody riding with her. She was disrespectful. She was out of line. And I think President Trump was right. Don't think that let me tell y'all something. As much as y'all want to sit up here and think that President Trump was wrong for the harsh tones that he used to correct her, to say she don't belong here. Because let me tell you something. President Trump, he knows she's a DEI. Okay, that's what he said. He don't want people just to be there just to be a DEI, diversity, equity. He want people that's going to sit there and really want to do the job. People that really want to do the job. People that get hired because they have a passion for this kind of work and they really care to do what they need to do to push laws. Okay? In Congress. To help people, to be the voice for the people, to help them get the things they need to get done. And if you're not going to sit up there to do shit like that for the American people, not Somalia, but the American people, then bitch, you need to go. You are here to serve the American people from that community. And that whole community just made people, they just took over the whole fucking community. That right there was disrespectful. Because they came to this country and jumped way ahead of the black American people, stole welfare money, and all that other shit. She knew this shit was going on. Maybe she might not know about all of it, but she knows something. And you better believe that when President Trump and President Biden made their transition, okay, of peace, these people were supposed to be respectful enough to notice that they know that whether you liked Trump or the fuck not, Excuse my language on a Sunday. God forgive me, because when you talk about this stuff, it gets like that. Whether you liked Trump or not, leave. If you knew you couldn't work under his leadership and he was going to be your president, and you felt that you was going to have a problem with him, you should have been making, because you knew he was running for presidency or whatever. You knew chances were he was going to win, because really it was nobody else there to really compete with him. Okay? Y'all had no policies. Y'all had nothing. What you think? It was just gonna just try to throw traps at him, and just first y'all was trying to stop him with the Fonnie Willis shit, and then y'all try to stop him with trying to get him locked up and do all of this other. Y'all did every fucking thing in the book, and it didn't work. And even then, y'all come with the Epsteins, with the Epstein file with all y'all motherfucking names on it. If you know, if Trump go down, he gonna talk about all of y'all. He gonna tell it all. So y'all might as well leave that shit alone. If he got to go down with the Epstein file because he took a picture with Epstein, Trump was everywhere. I grew up with Trump. I mean, he don't know me personally, but come on, I grew up in New York. I was in the business world. I worked in corporate banking 22 years. So basically, and I know a lot about Trump, because let me tell you something. These black people are full of shit. And I'm going to tell you why some of them are full of shit. The Jesse Jacksons, the motherfucking Al Sharptons, your leaders. That's why Trump be doing the shit he do. They mad at Trump because they used to all roll with him. He was the man, Trump, Trump, Trump. And then on top of that, they were all about the same age, somewhat or whatever. Jesse Jackson and Trump is about the same age almost, I think. And let me tell you, maybe Jesse might be a little older than Trump, but let me tell you something, okay? And it's going to shock a lot of you how Trump endorsed just about Jesse Jackson's whole goddamn campaign when he was running for fucking presidency in around 1982, 3, 4, 5, something like that, because I know I was still in high school, and and that's when I just reached 18, where I was able to vote, okay? When Jesse Jackson, and I was in New York, okay? And when Jesse Jackson was out there doing his shit, Jesse Jackson was the man, most the black women, we all loved Jesse Jackson. He was a nice looking man, and all the women was all fascinated with him, and da da da. He was able to pull in them black votes. And at that time, Trump was still a Democrat in New York. Yeah, Trump said some fucked up shit out of his mouth. I agree. But let me tell you something. He ain't the only one said some fucked up, because they said some shit too. They called him the orange man. They called him racist. They said all kind of shit about him. You think he ain't gonna sit there? He gonna take all that shit without clapping back? Trump is from New York, and all he hung around most of his life in his younger days. Don King, Al Sharpton, and Jesse Jackson. Most of Trump's friends that were mostly the ones he really was like really cool with was fucking black people. And he helped advance the whole lot of their fucking careers. So don't sit up there and listen to these fucking black people sitting up there talking about the hate jokes, okay? The hateness and the racism and all this. I watched all that shit. And I was just a teenager. And now I'm a grown ass woman, almost be 60. So you know how long ago that was? That I have had some history in this country. And I don't trust no other president to be my president right now but Trump. Because I don't trust the rest of these people. The way they carried on after that Biden and Harris administration, I don't trust too many other presidents in the United States until this shit get together, because this shit never happened. They got us living in terror like this and fear like this, because they hate well, if I can't have power, you know what I'm saying? Then I'll just take this whole fucking country down. That was their mentality over there in the fucking Democrat Party. That's why I will never do for another Democrat. It'll be a long time. I wouldn't say never, but it'll be a while, because I don't feel comfortable. I don't trust them. I don't trust them. Now, you could go ahead and play Russian roulette with your life, but I'm not playing with mine. I'm going to stick with Trump, okay? Y'all could go ahead and play with whoever the hell y'all want to play with, but I'm going to keep my bet on Trump, because I don't trust the rest of them. After what the Biden and Harris administration did to America, I wouldn't trust my life with them. Not with a Democrat. Can't trust it. I don't know if I can trust my life with some Republicans. But right now, I feel a lot more safer and a lot more, you know, I feel safe with Trump. I feel that way. Okay? Regardless, you got to get out of your feelings. Trump is a guy that you got to work with. He's difficult. I could see that. I could see he could be the kind of boss that be coming in. Did you got that? Well, what are you doing? He could yell at you, whatever, make you mad, and because he's an old man. He been around. He trying to get his shit done. He trying to get this shit done. This shit is frustrating. You come in and you inherit all this bullshit in your damn time of office with shit that they didn't take care of. They was out there partying, drinking, popping champagne, Cristal, and that drunk. You think I was gonna vote for a goddamn drunk? You think I was gonna vote for a woman who wasn't sober through her whole time of campaigning and debating? The woman stayed drunk. You think I'm gonna trust someone with, excuse me, who don't keep a sober mind to lead over my life? Are you serious? You people got to get with Jesus now. Y'all got to get with Jesus so y'all can get some spiritual discernment. Because y'all following things out here y'all shouldn't be following. And people out here that y'all are supporting that y'all shouldn't be supporting. And this is why God had to do certain things to shake us up to get our attention about these terrorists coming into our country. Y'all better get right with God. Because this shouldn't have never happened. And if anybody up there still talking hateful talk about Trump and talking bad about the administration and everything, something wrong with them. I don't think if you get any president, they will be happy. They just want to have a reason to complain. And I just pray that God will just block that noise out of Trump's ears. And the whole, not only just his ears, but for everybody who has to do this job right now in this administration, everybody that has to do their part in this administration right now. I just pray for them. Every last one of them. God cover them. Block their ears. Let nothing that don't sound good come to them. Inside their ear. Down their earlobes. Just block it. These people are crazy. Now, when these people come and attack these ISIS and these Talibans and Hezbollah or whoever they are in the country, these damn terrorist group names, these gangs that gave birth from the Muslim nation, because that's where they came from. They didn't come from America. Well, maybe some of them are from America. That's probably joined ISIS and all that other shit, because I wouldn't be surprised. Some of them are born in America, but their parents probably came from the Middle East or whatever. They grew up with that culture. They could still be from America, but they grew up in the culture. You understand what I'm saying? Just like the gangs, they grow up here in America, in LA and in other cities and places of the world. They grow up in the culture, and eventually it's going to come out of them. And that nation over there, the Islam nation, they gave birth to a whole lot of terrorists. There's more terrorists over there than it is over here. The only terrorists the United States ever had, the only terrorists that we only really had in the United States of America is the KKK. White supremacists. That's the only terrorists. But they don't go to other countries blowing them up and doing shit like that. They stay in America to protect America's soil, and they stay in America to protect you from trying to integrate with them and mess with they women. If you don't mess with they women, and you don't step out of your boundaries, coming in part of town, starting shit, you ain't gonna have no problem. But as soon as you do some shit like that, oh, you're gonna have a problem. It is what it is. And you can't stop people from trying to protect and keep their home, to keep themselves safe and keep their family safe. And don't want all kind of shit coming around in their neighborhood and all kind of things coming around their children. So you can't blame them for that. Okay? Especially when they see some things in your culture that's just not gonna come in theirs. That's the way it is. So you don't like it, that's just up to you. You don't like it. But that's the way it is. They hung on black people, your ancestors. I don't know if they hung any of my ancestors for me to be talking like this. I don't know nothing about none of my ancestors ever hanging on no damn tree. Or none of my ancestors ever getting hit with the whip. Nobody ever told me a story that the white man had to chain up my great-great-great-great-grandfather. Like stories go on and on and on. But I ain't never hear no stories like that. Because stories, they travel. They travel through generation to generation. My family stories, they travel. Like we going in the season of Christmas. Christmas right now. It's the Christmas tree, the family tree, whatever you want to say. There's some people on it that I had still here with me, and then there's some people that went on. They not here no more. They're not here no more with us. But we still remember them on this day of Christmas. We still remember have I will share some great memories about them. It's a lot of great things come out of Christmas. A lot of beautiful things. If you celebrate it right, you can't celebrate it right when you don't know Jesus. That's the thing. Okay, you don't know Jesus, you can't celebrate Christmas right. Because it's a beautiful time. It's the most wonderful time of the year, and it's a beautiful time of the year. But with that being said, your girl KC, I have to come back with y'all later. I got some more stuff I wanted to share with y'all, but right now I got to start, running around, do some things. I got to get this tree together because somehow I brought some ribbons and they didn't look right. So I have to put these other ribbons that I brought up here on the tree. But the angel looks nice. But I got to put the ribbons right. Okay, it just got to look right for me. Well, with that being said, God bless you. Love you. And if God's willing, I may or may not come back with you all again later to talk about things because I do got a lot to talk about. With that being said, God